just relax.
Right?
Do they do that? Do they say that? Just relax.
I haven't done it.
Spread
so
your legs and just relax. Just relax your legs.
Just relax.
I just imagine myself laying on the table in the fetal position going, all right, whenever you're ready, Doc.
So you...
Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob.
And I'm not Tim.
we have guests.
From the Combat Junkies.
We have guests other than Tim. We love you, Tim. But we have guests other than Tim. Tim has the flu, so he's not allowed over here right now.
That's not
So
cool.
maybe next week or a couple weeks after that. So tonight we have Ashley and John here.
Ashley and John.
Is that how I said
You're
it?
so excited. Sorry, go ahead. I'm
What up,
sorry.
Ashley and John? Is that better? Like, you're making me laugh. You're making me blush.
That's what we're doing. Laughter. That is the whole goal. So you're on the right track. Introduce them. Stop getting
I
sidetracked.
did. That's Ashley. That's John. They're our friends. They're married.
You did the country thing, isn't it? I love it. They're friends.
Well, I'm trying to do something, so you got to keep the conversation
trying to
going.
do?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. You just
Look, Ashley came all prepared.
There's
She has an official folder, and you're over there like, I'm getting my crap together.
I am.
I'm so unprepared.
I'm always getting my
But
crap
you're not
together.
going to like what's in the folder at all.
The folder's really thick.
You're only going to see one thing from the folder. I just brought it so you wouldn't see what it is, and you're not going to like it.
So
But you asked for this. It's all your
We've
fault.
been
So we're gonna hold
planning-
that off. That sounds gross. So we're gonna
Yeah,
hold
it's
that
totally
off
gross.
just a little bit.
We have been planning on having Ashley join us on the show for quite some time. Just through conversation. She has some very interesting stories to tell, and we're dying to hear them. And Ashley showed up at our house this evening with a folder, like an official, like it's a for real. I'm looking at it.
It says
right
official
now.
folder on it.
It says gastro.
Confidential.
It says
Classified.
gastro, which is not good.
It says gastro on it.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
It does, and
I've seen this for days.
it's not
and
even
I'm like, I don't
official.
wanna
It's
see
it's
this.
like a Sharpie. It says gastro. So I don't know where you went. But
So
it didn't even.
I made this folder.
It's semi-official, but she has a folder with
Y'all are making way too much about this folder.
Nobody's ever come over with a folder before. Like,
Or a list
she's
of
taking it
questions on my
very
phone.
seriously.
That's not true. We had a folder one time, sort of.
That was you, though. You don't
Yeah.
count. I'm talking about outside people that are that invested that they show up with a folder.
We all wanted to hear about the colonoscopy.
Is that what's in there? Is there pictures of your butthole in that folder?
There's colonoscopy photos in there. You're not going to see my butthole. I would not show that. And I'll be honest with you, I would never show these photos to you on a regular basis, but like, you asked for it and you wanted to know.
So, like in the
And I know,
confines
like-
of-
I do. Like, I want to know.
And y'all are always looking at photos. Like, I'm always hearing y'all like looking at photos about and looking up different things. So you're going to see what's real.
So normally you wouldn't show pictures of your butthole, but you're like,
It's special
there's 4
circumstances.
microphones. Let's pull the buttholes out.
It's not a butthole.
Nobody else can see it. It's
the
fine.
colon.
It's inside of your butthole, Bob.
Oh, okay, that makes it
Get
much
your
better.
anatomy straight.
But listening to y'all talk about colonoscopy, I was like,
That
need
was
to
a while
correct some
back.
things.
Colonoscopy.
This is colonoscopy episode 2.
Oh, okay, I got you. She just tried to name it on us. Jesus, she came in here.
Well, there you go.
She's got questions
She's
and
prepared.
folders
She's more
and
prepared for this than we are.
naming stuff. It's ridiculous.
Sorry.
So, what questions do you have?
I don't want to start with the questions.
Is that what we're going to start with?
I don't know what we're starting with.
Questions will
Okay,
start all
I
day.
This is what we're starting with. I hooked up mics and she smelled my fingers. That's how we started.
delicious.
They do smell nice because you walked by me
Yeah, they do
earlier and I
smell
was
nice.
like, did you put on my lotion?
I was wondering if it was your beard oil, because you're always talking about that.
My beard oil does smell good.
His beard
And
does smell good.
it's okay that you say that my fingers smell delicious,
These don't smell bad.
but it's just weird because your husband's 2 feet away from me.
It's not like I was
I
like,
didn't even
you
notice.
look so
You didn't
sexy.
mind
I
your
want to
mind.
like.
Would it be
I
more
don't care
weird
what
if
she
he
does.
wasn't here and you were, and she was like, your fingers smell so good?
I didn't say it's seductive like. I was just like, your
And she does her head like that, like you just did.
I can't say serious things like that with a serious face. I can't.
You never have a serious face.
I know.
It's always smile or angry. There's never
I don't know what you're talking about.
Any serious? So, okay, so we're not doing questions. We're not starting off with the...
Just do the colonoscopy. Let's just do it. Get it out.
We're not doing a colonoscopy.
It's going to be a different show.
Ashley, sit down. Pull your pants back up.
To hear this placenta story.
Oh, you want that?
So
Okay.
bad.
Okay, so we don't want to go a little bit gross. We're just going to go full steam gross.
Sure.
Do you have pictures of the placenta?
No, wait, it wasn't her placenta. It was her sister's. Back whenever, I think it was like right after I had Reese or something, and we were talking about, I don't know, childbirth and things. Remember Ashley was like, she rode home with her sister's placenta in the front seat? So
I was nervous.
I want to hear about that.
Well,
How did you come to have your sister's placenta?
In the car with you, right? Was it like in a bucket?
Yes. So I
What
went,
kind of bucket? I want to know what kind of bucket it was.
like from the hospital, and I don't.
It said hospital bucket on it?
No, it was like
Did it say placenta bucket?
no. It was sort of a white bucket, but I want to say like opaque. I don't know if that's the right word, but so it was like sort of see through, but not see through. But it was a little bit white, so you could see a little bit.
It was Tupperware.
Yeah, I mean it was like
Essentially.
I mean y'all can't see me, but y'all can. Probably like this
Who
big.
is she talking to?
The people.
The people.
Okay.
The people listening. Yeah, probably like this big, this huge bucket, and they just like plop this big organ of a thing. I mean, it looks disgusting. Did you look at yours?
I didn't see mine.
Okay. So I've seen a lot of them.
I saw it. I saw it come out.
Before my own birth, I think I've been to 4 births. Because I photographed a birth before and went to both of my sisters. So I've seen some placentas.
That's
and I've
3.
taken
What happened to the 4th one?
Danny, kind of a friend of the family, had a baby, and I went to hers too. So so 4. So 4 before my own, and I have seen a bunch of placentas, and I have photographed the placentas, so I know a lot about them. They look disgusting. They're like these huge, bloody organ, nasty things.
It looks like a big piece of liver.
Yeah, but it's like big. It's pretty huge. And
Make
so
some pudding out of it.
my sister, and a lot of people kind of hippied out with this whole placenta thing. They do all kinds of weird things like eat placenta or make it into a pill and take it or whatever. Which is just
John's face. He's just like,
No, John, there actually is a good explanation for that.
I know.
When you take...
I hit that thing all the time.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. When you take technology and knowledge, it continues to grow, right?
Yeah,
so we get to this point where we're like, hey, you really don't have to do that because we have everything here at the hospital to make it better. And then there's that one person that goes, I don't know. I kind of like the way they did it in the 20s. And then they eat a placenta.
Ugh.
And then there's another person with a flower in their ear. And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Like, I kind of feel like I'm a little bit of a hippie because I'm like, I love all natural things and I don't like to take medications. I will tough it out. I had an all natural childbirth. It super sucked.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a hippie when it comes to stuff like that.
That's crazy.
But I don't want anything to do with the placenta. I don't want to take it home. I don't understand why you'd want to eat it. That just seems creepy to me.
I totally get that, there may be benefits, but I don't care if they said, eat this and it'll make you live forever.
Yeah.
I could not. I've never, okay.
Kill me now.
I've like tasted all my kids like baby foods and medicines. And
I didn't know
that.
what you were going for. I was like,
No, like
I tasted all my kids.
But
she does that. She'll say something and pause.
I paused in the wrong place.
I tasted all my kids.
No, like I've tasted things that they've eaten and stuff, except for my own breast milk, which I cannot bring myself to. I can't. It grosses me out. I'm like, it came out,
But she wants to spray it in my eyes.
it's not supposed to go back in. I didn't say you had
I'm
to
with
drink
her
it.
on this. I'm saying, if it can cure pink eye, I feel like you should do it.
I would do it. Like if you were lactating and I had pink eye, I'd be like, go ahead and squirt
breast
some of that
milk.
mess right in here.
If I was lactating, I would not put my breast milk in your eyeball.
Anywho, so my sister wanted to take her placenta home because she had this grand idea that she was going to bury the placenta and then bury it and build. I want to say build a tree. That's not correct.
She took it to build a bear. It's like stuff it inside this animal.
We're just gonna stuff it. Pick out a cute outfit.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Berry?
Yes, thank you, bury, but with a tree.
Just last episode, we talked about how your family was so smart.
No, we're not.
And you're like, What's that word that means dig and then cover with dirt?
Oh my god!
I also said minutes before this, my kid is smart, not me. Anyway,
So
yeah.
was she
Your kid
gonna,
is smart.
Plant a tree.
Like
on
that's
top
what I was
of-
looking for.
Like so, you dig a hole, put the placenta, and then
Plant a tree.
Plant a
Yes.
tree.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was going to be like.
I
this-
think the sentiment is really sweet.
I do too. And so she has 2 trees in the yard, and one's like, that's Ren's, and this is Temple's tree. And it's nice, but I had no desire to want to do that at all.
Yeah. I heard about this before our child was born, and I was like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I'm
We're
good.
driving
We're not doing
home
that
with a
hippie
placenta,
crap.
not happening.
But that was the fun.
There's actually a secret that a lot of people don't know. If you leave the placenta at the hospital, they'll get rid of it for you for free.
That's true.
They've got like a magical box. It's not a Tupperware container. They even give them ice. They give you
Red
ice.
hazmat bag, and they just put it in.
Yeah,
No.
they set it on fire.
Yeah, they take that stuff off. Remember all that nastiness they took away after I gave
Not
birth?
really, no.
It was like a huge bag of grossness.
Now that's the difference between a C-section and so you had all natural through the vagina hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens,
The
There's
vagina
no
hole.
other
You
holes
had
that
to
it's
say
coming
that.
out of.
they made a hole on you. Like it looks like
That
a
was
murder scene.
That was man-made. We're talking natural here.
Yeah. It looks like a murder scene. The C-sections normally don't look like that. If they start to, there's problems.
Well, I just remember John and my sister making eyes when they were taking off this like bloody bag of
Like
stuff.
romantically or
No,
like towards each other?
making eyes like
my God.
like my face is white.
No,
I'm
no.
like face.
I
Yeah,
don't even remember that. I blocked a
did.
lot of this out.
Did you cut the umbilical cord?
Yeah, that was one of the grossest
Isn't it
things of my
so
whole
weird?
life. Oh
Because
my
they're like,
God.
here,
I don't
cut
wanna
it.
do that.
And they hand me the scissors, and I cut, but then it didn't cut, so you have to go.
Yeah, it was,
Like you have to like
They're
really,
like safety.
it's like
you have to
rubber.
really
was so
chew at it.
gross.
Yeah.
It was not like paper.
No.
I cut Mason's umbilical cord, so I know what it. Yeah, it's like cutting a huge rubber band with dull safety scissors. Like,
Stop it.
so blue. That
I was
was
about
that's
to
what.
back out of it because they were like, "Do you want to cut this?" And I was like, "I don't think so."
Just put the kid back in. We're done.
I think we're good.
Me and my
I
sister
don't think
were
I
like,
want
"You
to do
have
that at
it."
all.
I didn't want to do it.
But anyway, back to my sister's story. So I was.
We haven't even made it past like.
We warned you. You're going to get
Tell us about
interrupted
the kind
so
of
many times.
tell us about the kind of container it was in again.
But I was really worried about driving with it because I just kept thinking, like, what am I supposed to say
So
if
were
I
you
get
guys-
pulled over?
Or if
you
you
guys,
get in a
like-
wreck. You get in a wreck, right?
Oh,
Like
God.
and then like the placenta hits the windshield and explodes. So then the people rush in and they're like, "Oh my God, she's dying!" And they can't figure out where
And
all
you're
the
like,
blood
no,
and
it's
chunks
just my
come from.
sister's
Don't
placenta.
worry. Yeah.
Oh my God, her sister exploded and all that's left is her placenta.
I was just so worried about the cop. I was like, a cop is going to pull me over. And how am I going to explain myself? And if I say it's a placenta, he's going to be like, okay, psycho murderer. Like, you know,
Where's
I watch.
the rest of the woman?
Yeah, like I watch too many things about
It goes
serial
nice
killers.
with a good
and all that.
Chianti.
But luckily, I
Oh.
did not get pulled over, and all was well. But I kept looking over at it. I think I even strapped it in and was like, "Oh my God, it's so weird."
So, okay.
It's still there.
So your sister gives birth.
No breaking.
They put the placenta in a bucket. Did you take it home that day? Like the day that she gave
Now,
birth?
was it a bucket or was it a Tupperware container?
it was.
It was a hospital bucket.
It was a Tupperware buckety thing. It was a bucket.
Tupperware-esque.
Did it have a handle?
It had a handle, but it had a top. Like it had a little fitted top. So
Okay.
Tupperware-like, but
We're getting
it was
there.
a
We're
bucket.
getting there.
It was not pleasant.
Did the tree live?
Yes, both of
still
them
there.
are still there.
Powerful placenta trees.
So it's cool and all.
Was
but
it a
then,
pussy willow? Because that would be perfect.
Oh my gosh. Stop. God.
What kind of tree did you plant?
I don't know.
I'm trying to.
I suck at
I'm trying to
trees.
get
I
all
got
the
nothing.
details here.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
it's
have
a
no
tree.
idea it was a tree.
I know what a pine tree is, but other than that.
Do you really? But do you want a pine tree growing out of your placenta?
No, I'm saying I can't tell you. I
Or do
don't
you
know
want
about
do you want a
plants.
beautiful pussy willow? It's so much better.
God.
Okay,
Here's
what
an
happened
even
next?
better story, though. Kind of in that same vein, though. And which I kind of already talked to y'all about, but the whole, what is it called? Lotus birth thing.
Is that where you don't cut?
Yes. So this comes up because I'm hanging out with a group of friends, and one of the girls says to us, she's pregnant. And we're like, oh, congratulations, blah, blah. Well, then my friend Andy, she's like, oh my God, I have to tell y'all something. She's like, have y'all ever heard of a lotus birth? And we're like, what are you talking about? And so she works at a church, and part of her job is to go to the house. If somebody has a baby, she has to like go there and greet them and make sure they're okay and bring food or whatever. Part of her actual job at the church. And so she went to go see a mom who had just had a baby, and she shows up, and the lady had a lotus birth, but didn't tell her that, and she has no idea what a lotus birth is. So she shows up.
Let me stop you for 1 second. This is my favorite part about podcasting, is that you changed your voice and you did the quotations. So nobody in audio link can hear that. They just hear you go, yeah, she had a lotus voice. And it's really weird. Like, she does it all the time, and it makes my night. All right, go ahead. Lotus
Sorry
birth.
about that. Yeah, lotus birth.
And if our goal is to drive listeners away by grossness, we're slowly but surely getting there.
Yeah, well,
we're looking at gross in the rearview mirror already.
They can't see photos right now. They're probably going to look them up.
If people didn't want to hear our gross stories, they would have stopped listening a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
What if someone, like, a lotus is an actual, like, bug thing, right?
No, a lotus is a flower.
Yeah. Is it a flower?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What am I thinking of? What is the thing that,
a locust?
Locust. Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. Keep going.
I forgot where I was. Oh, so she shows up at the house, and there's this baby that's still attached to the placenta.
And he's like, hi, Mom.
And she's like, how do you react to that? I mean, and she said it smelled bad, and it was
that was my question. It was like, after the first couple days, it's going to start to smell.
Days? You do it for days?
Well, because you have to wait till it falls off. Isn't it like a week or so?
Yeah.
That the belly button thingy falls off?
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it can take like a week to 2 weeks for it to fall off.
And like you were saying, you were talking about like the kids being with the monitors and all that. Like, can you imagine doing that with this like bloody, nasty, rotten thing?
Every time you pick the kid up to move it, or
what happens when you drop it?
Because
how do you maneuver?
Somebody's dropped it. Like they moved the kid and the blizzard hits the ground, and then they got to pick it up. Like and some then, pus comes out because it's old. It's getting old. It goes bad.
And does it like fall off if that happens?
We
does
bought
it, like, rip it off?
What is it called? The big round thing, a dehydrator for food.
Oh yeah.
And my first thing I was going to make was some turkey jerky, and I bought the ground turkey, and I messed up, and I put it in warm water to like thaw it, and apparently you're not supposed to do that.
No.
And the turkey went bad, right? Within a matter of hours. And you're talking about taking a placenta and just holding it, put it on the table for like 5 days. That's got to be disgusting.
So I can only imagine like the horror. Your poor friend, like she goes and you're like, oh, I'm gonna.
And she's got to pretend like,
I would have run away.
Like, how do you just walk into somebody's house and they just had a baby and like, the placenta is still there. Like, I didn't expect to come meet your baby in the placenta.
Oh, well, we can't be friends anymore. Have a great life.
Exactly.
And then you just walk out.
See you later.
I think she said she just pretended like everything's normal, but like, how do you do that?
You maintain any
that's not a piece of human laying on the table that doesn't have eyeballs or anything. That's cool. Yeah. Did you make this lemonade with your own hands, or did it come out of a bottle?
I'm not professional enough to like maintain composure. I would have been like, what is that?
So gross. I don't understand.
I wouldn't be okay with it. But like if I couldn't make you not do it, anybody that came over, I'd be like, you got to smell this. And I would just hold it in my hands.
It's so bad. Smell it.
I still want to know what the benefit or like why would you do that?
Oh, you know how you get rid of it? Like if your wife's like, we're doing this. When she falls asleep, just get some green spray paint and just tag it a little bit. So when she wakes up, it's green. That's how you get rid of the placenta.
Whenever I was pregnant with Reese, I talked to my OB about the delayed cord cutting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember? Because I had never heard about it whenever I was pregnant with Reagan and Riley, but I heard about it. And so I just asked her, I was like, is there any real benefits? And she explained it to me. And it's really worth it. No. She's like, it's not worth it.
No.
Well, but even if you do that, like you're talking like wait 10 minutes or like an hour. You're not talking about
I can.
like just let it naturally.
Yeah, it was like,
Fall off.
yeah, like a few extra minutes or something. But yeah, I couldn't imagine just like leaving the hospital with it. Like, here you go, like, you know, you're leaving the hospital, you've got your new baby in the car seat, and there was a placenta attached.
And what do you do with the car seat?
Thing? That's a good question. What do you do with the car seat? Is the kid and the placenta like...
You just like
a
plop
dual
it
car
right
seat,
on
actually.
top of the kid.
You get a car seat for the placenta bucket.
And honestly, I want to know like why you would ever do that, but I'm too afraid to look it up even more because I looked it up and I saw photos and then I was like, I'm out.
Afraid to do what?
Like, I don't want to do any more research to figure out why you would want to do that because I don't want to
like
look
leaving
at
the placenta.
I actually know this answer. The reason that you do that is because there's still blood in it. And when you do the lotus birth thing, it gives it a chance to like rotate through. So that the baby gets the benefit of all the mother's
Yeah, but see,
blood.
like, even with the, whenever I talked to the doctor about the delayed cord cutting, she was like, even if you do that, like, you have to take elevation into consideration because, I mean,
You can screw up because you're not supposed to have
it
all
can
that
go,
blood in
the
you at
blood
one
can
time.
go the opposite way.
Right.
From the baby back to the placenta. And so, yeah, she was like explaining all this. And I was like, yeah, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
So,
Just
yeah,
cut
I
the
don't-
cord. Cut the cord. Give me the drugs.
Well, it also makes me think, like, what about way back in the day? Like, when did they figure out you should cut the cord? Did they do that back in the day? Like, did they really let that
They
thing
thought the
evolve?
earth was flat. They didn't know what was going on.
That's a good question. Like, it
But I don't want to know that either. I don't want to look it up because I'm like...
You hear about people back in those times having like 9 and 10 kids. They worked out. Everybody tried to have that many kids because they kept dying because they didn't know what to do. And then somebody said, well, just hold the placenta up for a few days. And that kid lived. And they were like, oh, well, this is a thing. This did it. This worked.
That was like a common occurrence.
Yeah, it's what
I don't know.
happened.
I don't know.
Just like breastfeeding, do I think that it's beneficial? It is. Is it crazy necessary? I don't think it is. It's not. It's beneficial, but it's not necessary. Just
If I
like
could
that
go-
one girl, what was her name? Corey's ex-girlfriend, was it Nicole or something like that? Oh my God, she went off on me on Facebook one day about breastfeeding. And then finally I was like, 100% of the people before formula that were serial killers were breastfed.
Oh, yeah. She said some
It was some statistic.
statistic that something about serial killers.
And I was like, yeah,
The
all of
majority
them.
of serial
All
killers
of them
were
were.
formula fed or something. And I was like, wow. So it's like, if you're not breastfed, you're going to turn into a serial killer.
Yeah, it's one of those weird statistics. Like they go, 95% of shark bites happen in shallow water. Yeah, it's because that's where we're swimming. That's why it happens. Like, don't give out weird statistics that don't make sense. And then some people hear it and think, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
If I could go back and
95%?
give myself advice,
Jesus.
like when I was pregnant still, I would say, give her the formula. Because I had a horrible,
That's true.
horrible time.
She was just angry
breastfeeding.
for like weeks.
And she was so upset, and it was awful, and it was
Then
a
after she
horrible
got food, she
experience.
was like, oh, this is great.
And we struggled because I was like, I was so dead set, like, I'm going to breastfeed. This is so important. I'm going to do this. And then finally we were like, she's not getting enough, and she's not okay. She's not thriving. And,
She was angry.
she was
That was the bottom
mad.
line. She was just mad.
She turned out okay. She's smarter than our kids.
And then we gave her formula, and she started being awesome. So I'm like, if I could go back, I would have just given her the formula to be I would have still tried to breastfeed,
Right.
But I would have given her the formula earlier, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't have beat myself up.
Yeah,
about it.
it's not worth the amount of pressure that women put on themselves, and
I felt like such a failure.
I
the
struggle with
day-
it so much more than Katie does.
the day before Reagan and Riley got discharged from the NICU, I knew they were coming home the next day.
John, did
And
you
in my
see somebody
mind-
milk your wife? Because I had to watch multiple people milk my wife.
Yes, you did. The
I?
lactation.
He's like, I don't know. It's all going. It's all
He's like,
blurred
that's
right
another
now.
thing I blocked out along with the placenta.
Yeah, they like come in at the hospital and they were showing you how to do
I
stuff.
don't remember much of that. I just remember trying to not flip out from
You do
lack
remember?
of food and
You
sleep.
remember when that lady came in to wake her up?
Oh, of course, because she had just gone to sleep and the lady came in.
Yeah.
Temperature and
Dr.
blood.
Aquila?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like,
I'm going to come and take her blood at 4 o'clock in the morning. Are you serious? Like, why is this necessary at 4 o'clock in the morning?
it was at that 24-hour mark where they were like, we have to do all these tests
We had
now.
all
And
just
I was
gotten quiet. And
we
laid
had
down.
finally-
Can we just sleep.
gotten her to sleep for the first time in like 24 hours.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I will murder you.
What were we watching? Because they came and checked on us all. Oh, True Blood. We were trying to finish True Blood in the hotel room, the hospital room, and everybody has sex constantly on True Blood. And then like it would seem
naked.
It would seem like they'd be like going at it, like, and it's just it's a 30-second scene with people just having sex, and that would be the point. Where like the nurses would open the windows or like come in and we're like, oh my God.
They're going to think we're in here watching porn.
Yeah, we're just in here watching porn together. And you guys need to chill out. There's 2 fixing to come out now. No more. They probably thought I was some kind of like insane pervert or something. Like, you're getting
Your wife had been in the hospital for a month.
Yeah. And I'm like, let's watch porn together, pregnant lady.
The porn deprived man. No, the day before Reagan Riley was supposed to come home from the NICU, I like called for the lactation consultant and we were talking because in my mind, I'm like, I have 2 babies and tomorrow I have to take them home and how the heck am I going to feed them? I'm not making enough milk. And I was sobbing to this lady and she, looking back on it now, like she probably felt so awkward. I was just like, I don't know what to do.
I just remember the lady kept saying, talking about the latch, and she's like, that's a perfect latch. That looks awesome. How does it feel? And I was like, it hurts like hell. And she was like, it's not supposed to hurt if you're doing it properly. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not doing it. The baby is. Talk to her.
It hurts.
I'm just hanging out.
The very first time, I think it was Reagan. I think I fed her first. And the first time she latched on, I was like, oh, holy hell. Yeah. I didn't know babies had suction that strong.
God, it hurts.
I was like, oh, yep. At that moment, like the first latch, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is such a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So what questions do you have?
Well, what questions do you have about this whole colonoscopy fiasco? Y'all, I still am just dying over the fact that you thought you were going to have to get a colonoscopy every year.
Is that not what we have to do? Am I still lost?
Yes. No, yeah, because it was the prostate exam that you were thinking about.
Oh, yeah,
that
I don't remember things.
So I think it's 50, I think that's right.
Something
you
like
don't
that.
have to start getting
I don't know, because I got a guy
50.
that works with me, and he's not 50, and he's getting them now.
How?
Oh, wait, the colonoscopy?
You're getting them mixed up
Okay.
again. Yeah, so prostate, are you supposed to do that once a year? I don't know what age that starts for dudes.
Got that several times, and then like I switched doctors.
And then the doctor was like, it's been a week now. You can stop getting these.
Exactly.
This weird guy keeps asking for prostate exam.
But that's no big deal. I mean, that's just whatever.
It's fairly uncomfortable, but
Oh my word. Y'all cannot complain about a prostate exam. Come on.
I have
can
no
complain.
sympathy at all.
No.
You might not have any sympathy, but we can
it's not
complain.
uncomfortable. It's just odd. I mean, it's a dude, and he's
Here's the difference. This is what you guys aren't taking into consideration. The vagina is a magical thing. And it's designed to open.
Okay.
Right? Like a flower. Like a beautiful
Like
flower.
a beautiful flower.
And $1 million debt comes out when
Lotus.
it does. Right. Lotus flower. Our prostate entry door does not expand. It does not stretch out. But still, they go in. And we're not used to it. Like the majority of us are not used to being entered.
it's odd.
Is it like when you
weird.
go to get to the gynecologist and they say, just relax?
Right?
Do they do that? Do they say that? Just relax.
I haven't done it.
Spread
so I
your
don't know.
legs and just relax. Just relax your legs.
Just
to the
relax.
side.
I just imagine myself laying on the table in the fetal position going, whenever you're ready, Doc.
So you've
I'm just
never had what
completely
you
naked,
have.
and they're like, you didn't have to take all your clothes off.
So I know as a female getting examined down there, I've had doctors who tried to make conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
It's always odd.
what are you doing after work? Dinner tonight, whatever. And
You're gonna
I'm
feel
just
some
like,
pressure.
to me, I'm like, no, please don't. Just stop. Just let's not have conversation right now while your head is like in my
You know what I
crotch.
find more awkward
What?
than that, actually?
Their head?
Like while they're down,
Oh,
they're
okay,
like
yeah,
down
yeah.
there with their little headlamp thingy.
She got her miner's helmet on and
They
just
got
go
a
inside and look around.
Yeah, I got a head.
No idea they had a headlamp.
Yeah, man.
like going underneath the sheet.
Oh, have
Like,
you never gone?
Not for the headlamp.
Oh, yeah. I went to that quite a few times. They have this gun. It's like this big metal gun. It's like a caulking gun.
Lord.
She poured jelly on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like a tube of A&D.
Yeah.
And just emptied
The
it.
industrial side.
Like, it's just so much, dude.
Jeez.
And then it goes inside. And she...
A little bit of
With
pressure.
her wrist, like a caulking gun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just opens up like this.
That's the duck lips.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then she reaches her hand inside
Yikes.
and makes that motion. And then she comes out and she goes, yeah, you have
That's
one.
good.
You're good.
And I'm like, has one what? Where did she go? What is happening right now?
I think it's even more awkward, though. I don't know
Yikes.
if you've ever had to do this, but I had to have a mammogram done. And that's even weirder to me when
I've
they
not-
try to talk to you because they're like up in your face
Yeah.
and
I
touching
think
your boob.
I can deal. I mean, I've
is
had
awkward.
breast exams before. I haven't had a mammogram yet, but yeah, breast exams. I would rather be examined down there because at least they're like not
not in your face. So awkward.
But when they're just like, "So, how are you today?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
That lady was all up in my face, and she's like touching, just like staring right in my eyes, talking to me.
I'm like, don't make eye
I'm like,
contact
whoa.
with me.
So, and I said to her, I was like, "You have such a strange job. You're
Why don't
like
you just make a noise?
picking my boob up and moving it around. Like that's weird. That's strange.
Just make a noise. If they start talking to come, just go.
That's what I always wanted to do during the prostate exam is what... like Fletch when he goes, Moon River, he starts singing.
Oh my god.
Wait.
I've always wanted to do that.
I think I missed something. Did the doctor start singing?
No.
No, he said he wanted
In
to.
the movie Fletch, when he goes to the doctor. and
Oh,
he's
I've
giving
never
the-
seen
Oh
Fletch.
my god, it's amazing.
Oh my god.
Anyway, he's
That's
bent
great.
over and he's about to
should
do the
really do
exam
that.
and he starts going, Moon River. He starts singing like at a high pitch.
I know the Oklahoma
that
song. That's what I'm
doctor
going to
would
do.
never forget that.
Yeah.
I've wanted to
That'd
do
be
it
good times.
all 3 times, but
all 3 times. You know
I'm just-
exactly how many times. Wow.
They did it 3 times in one day?
no. It's
Oh
like
my god.
over the span of years.
Oh.
Jeez.
It took years?
So you must have to
It's
start
just a
doing this
once
at
a
a
year
certain
exam.
age
Okay.
or something.
So,
right?
John, whenever any
Oh,
of
man.
the exams you've had, like,
Just 3.
did the doctor like make conversation with you?
I think it was like a normal conversation. Then it was like,
It's like,
This
oh,
is Muscle White,
this
right?
is going to be strange, you know?
Muscle White?
Yeah, that was the guy's name.
That's his last name. I say that because
Oh, I thought she was talking about some weird anus thing. She's like,
my god.
No.
so he went in through the anus and it went right past the muscle white, which is
Into the
right in front of the prostate.
I wish everybody could see Katie right now. She's got her hands
God.
on her face. laughing. Anyway, that's the doctor's name. And
Muscle
but
White.
he's like an older gentleman, so it just seems like the whole thing just seems awkward.
Well, that's
Older
Now,
gentleman doing
better.
Actually-
I wouldn't want that if it was like a lady doctor. That would be even more weird.
no.
It's going to be weird either way. So, like,
Would you? What, you think you have a preference, like male or female doctor? Like,
Not
either
at
way,
all.
it's going to be weird.
I'm going to have fun either way.
so you think it would be less awkward to have a female doctor, or
I'm not going to be the one feeling awkward. That's my go-to. My go-to is if I'm feeling awkward, you're feeling way more awkward than I am.
So you're going to start singing.
I think that's a good
A
idea.
fun insertion.
So,
he's gonna think of you, John, at that moment. He's gonna start singing.
whoa,
This is for you,
whoa.
John.
No.
When somebody starts sticking their fingers in my anus, my first thought
You're gonna think
is
of
not going to be
John.
a job.
It's not going to
You
be.
are.
I'm going to call him on the phone.
That's true. He really is.
Please.
He
No.
is.
Don't do
Whenever
it.
it is, years from now, whenever it is that you
Don't
go in
do
there,
it.
Give him a pen. Write your
you're gonna
number
come
down,
out and
John.
you're like, you were right.
And unfortunately,
I'll be in Travers.
when you have
What?
to have a colonoscopy
Bob?
one day, you're probably going to
I
think
thought
of
of you
me.
today, John.
going to be awful.
And you're gonna know.
Damn it, Bob's getting the exam now.
Like, I know what Bob did today.
He's never called me before. I'm not answering the phone. Somebody's in his butthole right now.
FaceTime.
Oh my God.
See, what's funny is you're going to forget about this conversation.
This is true.
And I'm really going to call you when it's happening.
That's going to be great.
You have to.
And I'm
now.
going to be
You
like, hey,
have
Mr.
to.
Muscle White, do you mind if I make a phone call real fast? Yeah, so if it's a guy, I think I'm gonna go with the Oklahoma thing. I'm gonna sing Oklahoma. And if it's a
my
girl,
gosh.
when she goes in, I'm just gonna turn around and go, oh yeah.
Oh my god,
do
that is
that.
so wrong.
Start singing erotica.
So singing what?
Erotica.
Erotica.
Madonna?
Wow.
Awful.
Oh my god.
He pulled a Madonna reference. I'm gonna be honest with you. 105 episodes, first Madonna reference.
Awesome.
So
I don't even like Madonna, so.
That's true. I'm kind of surprised.
you obviously like Madonna a lot more than the rest of us.
Oh, whoa.
It's a bad story.
I don't even know what song that is, and I was a Madonna fan. What song? Where is that from? Is that like a newer thing?
You don't know.
No, it's like
You don't know
it's like 90s new.
Yeah.
Erotica? I think it was like, wasn't that an album?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not going to sing it.
Didn't she have a whole booklet that came out with all that mess?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't read back then.
I think it was
It was
pictures.
controversial.
What's funny? I don't understand what's funny.
I was laughing because you said I didn't read back then. Like, I spent the first part of my life illiterate.
I wasn't illiterate. I just didn't read. There's a difference. I knew how to read. I just didn't do it. I know how to kill somebody. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out and do it anytime soon.
You know, I feel though that I've watched enough crime shows that I could probably help you. And
Yeah, me too.
got you.
An
Did I do a
ice
good
knife.
wink just now?
No.
I felt like it was. I feel like it was.
You're lucky.
One more time.
You're lucky you're already a patron. I didn't charge you for that.
I was like, I tried to do it, and I was like, maybe that's like smooth.
No. Nope. You're a beautiful girl, Katie, but nope.
She's not beautiful when she does that.
Oh, man.
It
what
does
makes me
look a little
special.
bit like a seizure's
The
happening. or
first
something.
time she winked, I called 911.
No, you did not. No, you didn't.
But anyway, I guess back to colonoscopies.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot what we were talking about.
She's getting ready to pull out a butthole picture.
Well, okay, so I think at 50, is when you start having to get colonoscopies.
Possibly.
I had
So
to,
when did you start getting a prostate exam?
30s?
I mean, like, did you read
You're not
something, or were
30
you just
yet, are
like, I feel like singing today?
No, it was just like the general physical. Like, I never even went to the doctor, but like once a year.
Oh, so it was a surprise rape. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Am I going to have to? Oh, jeez.
Pull your pants
oh,
down.
jeez.
Bend over. Why? Just trust me. I don't know.
You're going to feel some pressure.
Just
Cough.
relax.
Not yet. Wait, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah, the cough thing. I don't like that either.
Yeah, that one's weird. Like, you guys will never have to. This is what
No,
happens.
we won't
Very
have to
weird.
do that.
This is a cough. when
It's totally different.
when they
someone's-
grab you, you just go.
That's exactly it. It's just sort of a.
So is it, I mean, is it just because it's awkward to cough while someone's like holding your
And there's so much
scrotum?
danger. It's the little
Danger.
people. You don't.
Did you see his fingers? His fingers were
I mean,
little
you can't
spirit
make
fingers.
you can't make a scrotum reference without.
Yeah.
This is like the universal. It's the universal scrotum
Variation
gesture.
of jazz hands.
When okay, just for people that don't know, whenever they do that check, they don't do the spirit fingers while they're on your scrotum.
They don't.
If they did, I would get it checked all the time.
Oh my god.
I'd be like, Katie, I think there's something wrong with my testicles. Can you come check them, please?
I'm not a doctor.
It's okay. I trust you. I trust your judgment. Get your spirit fingers out.
You're gonna go to the doctor all the time.
Oh, my face hurts.
I'm tired today, Bob. Just go to the doctor.
She's in therapy. He keeps making me do spirit fingers on his testicles. I told him he doesn't have cancer, but he doesn't believe me.
A self-exam.
He's calling me. I gotta go. So you had questions?
Ashley was talking about her colonoscopy.
Oh, are we still on
Ever
colonoscopies?
want me to
Okay.
tell the story? You keep interrupting me. About
Okay. Tell the story, full details. Let's go.
All the gory details.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want some of them. So I had to start getting I had to get a colonoscopy because I started having all these stomach problems, but it was like not ending. And I was like, this is not normal. So went to the gastro doctor and they were like, yeah, you should probably get a colonoscopy. And I was like, I'm good. And I held off for like a while because I was like, no, like I'm going to figure this out. It's good. I'm
Right?
fine.
Like this is last resort.
Yeah, like
type
I'm
stuff.
good. I think I'm all right. And then finally I was like, yeah, I think I actually need to do this because this is definitely not normal. And so I finally was like, okay, I make this appointment. I'm going to do this thing. And it's exactly how you described it. When you were talking about the colonoscopy stuff and you said, I think the prep sounds like way worse
yeah.
than that.
Yeah, because before you have to like drink the stuff.
Yeah, you got to clean it out. And it actually is still, I still maintain the whole colonoscopy thing was not half as bad as I thought it was going to be. definitely the prep was the worst part. But even that, like,
Have you ever drank that stuff? So they sell it at Walmart for 98 cents.
Yes.
Wait, but I don't even know which part you're talking about because they give you a whole list of stuff you have to take. Mm-hmm. Like I had to take a few like laxative pills or something, but then I had to take Gatorade and
that's such a good idea.
What is it?
Mineral
Miralax or something. I can't remember. It starts with an M, but it's like this nasty tasting stuff that you put into the Gatorade, and you got to drink like gallons and gallons.
Miralax?
Yeah, Miralax. Like the powder. Yeah.
See, I snorted it.
No, you didn't.
And then
I think I had some of that after I gave birth.
You know what? I don't think you have to do that, but like after hearing it, I'm like, that's probably a good idea. Because I went and got the stuff from Walmart one time because I think it was like I was having an issue one time. It was like 3 days since I pooped, and I was like, this is not normal because I'm on a clock.
Yeah.
Like every day, it's the same time, and I didn't go for like 3 days.
You're like so drastically. I didn't poop. Let's see about
so something's happened. If something's wrong, it's got to come out. When you drink just the clear stuff, this is what happens. Your stomach goes, get out. But obviously there's something up front that's not letting it happen. So then you feel it and you're like, oh my God, I gotta go. And then you sit down and it hurts really bad because it doesn't come out. And then eventually whatever that clog or cork is, it pops out.
Good.
And then everything else is liquid.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you took like the softener first, it probably make that experience a little more.
Yeah.
Get rid of the clog.
I'm not going to say enjoyable.
It makes you start going a little bit.
Tolerable. That's a good word.
And then you're like, oh, and it's not stopping.
Yeah.
But then there's another thing you take on top of that. So after you take all of that and you're up all night, like getting it all out, in the morning, I still had to wake up and I can't remember what that stuff's called, but it's like a bottle, 8 ounces or so of this clear stuff that you have to take. It's like, I can't remember what it's called. I should know this, but I don't. So anyway, you have to drink that too. I even called the doctor that morning because I was like... From the toilet. Man, we got to talk, bro. This is ridiculous.
This is necessary.
I was like, should I really still take this stuff? Because like, I'm pretty cleared out. Like, I'm cleared out. And they're like, yeah, no, still take it. Because if you're not completely, like, everything's out, then they won't do the colonoscopy.
How much weight did you lose?
I didn't lose any weight. I mean, it's only a 1-day thing. It's
lost weight. You didn't weigh it?
Well, no.
I weigh myself before and after every poop just because I'm curious.
Oh, dear Lord. You don't do it every time.
Not every time, but like if my stomach hurts real bad, I'm like, oh, I'm weighing this one.
Oh, my God.
You guys laugh, but you're going to go home and do it.
No.
You were like, I wonder what he's talking about.
But you started.
I had a 1-pounder one time.
Oh, my word.
You ever held a pound of hamburger meat in your hands?
Oh my God! Stop!
But you started in like the afternoon, and then you like go like all through the night.
In the bucket.
Stop it!
It's all connecting back.
The next time I go, I'm just gonna put it in the placenta bucket for you and let you look at it the next time you come over.
Oh jeez!
Be like, this was just one time. This is one time.
Oh my God!
Our kids crapped so much today. It was ridiculous.
Thanks for that.
They pooped like 3 times since I came home.
It was 4. They pooped like 4 times each, and not like diarrhea or anything.
No.
It was just
in the toilet too. We were happy it was in the toilet.
It's
not like on the kitchen floor or something. I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
The prep. So I got the prep done.
Prep work.
I was nervous I wasn't going to get to the appointment because, like, I couldn't stop going to the bathroom. And then I finally
That's a terrifying feeling.
Yeah, I'm serious. And I was like, what am I going to... Because, you know, if you're taking that kind of stuff, it's an emergency. Like, you got to go. And so I was like, what if I can't? But then I was fine and I got there and I was done. But then they put an IV in your hand and they give you... I think they give you... they give you, like, IV fluids and stuff because they're scared you're going to be dehydrated because you've been up all night. And then they take you in and they put you to sleep. I remember, have you been put to sleep before?
I heard that was optional.
You said that on the podcast when I was listening. I was like, they didn't give me that option. They were like, you're going to sleep.
They might have like talked to you and was like, we putting her to sleep.
Would it be really? Would you
I don't know. I'm just telling
awake?
you. I heard it was optional.
I wouldn't.
It's like that time
let me be awake through that.
They rubbed my eyeball with a Q-tip.
What?
I mean, it's not an anus, but it's the same concept. I had to have surgery on my eyes, and I was with the doctor, and he pulls out this long
What does this
Q-tip.
have to do with...
I'm trying to tell you about her options that she didn't have.
Oh my God.
And he dipped the Q-tip in something liquid and was like, hold still, and put it on the pupil of my eye and just moved it around.
Yikes.
And I was like, and he pulled it. Because, I mean, you're not just going to, you're
torture to
not
me.
going to stand there calm. He's rubbing a Q-tip on the pupil of your eye. And he pulls it away. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what's that test for? And he goes, I just wanted to make sure I could do it. And I was like, what?
No.
Because the surgery I had, they were going to open up my eyes on both sides and like put machines in there to move the muscles around, and they had to wake me up and like test it. And apparently if I didn't pass the Q-tip rubbing on the pupil thing, then I wasn't going to have the surgery. So maybe they did some kind of weird Q-tip thing she didn't realize, and they were like, we were putting her to sleep because she's not going to handle it awake.
Well, honestly, when they brought me in the room,
They'd put him to sleep too because he'd start singing.
That's true.
they have like a screen where, you know that they're going to be seeing images there. And I was really fascinated by it. And I was like, man, I kind of wish I was awake so I could like see what it's like looks like in there. And they're like, oh, we're going to give you pictures anyway. And I was like, okay, cool. But I didn't really want to be,
And they're in this folder?
Of course.
yeah.
So are you okay with me seeing pictures of your wife's?
It's not a
internal.
butthole.
It's all
It's
internal.
inside.
Yeah, but we know how you got in there.
Though here's the funniest part. So my sister says to me after I get this done, and it was not good news. They end up telling me that they're like 99% sure I have Crohn's disease. So that's the whole reason I was in there. Which is the pictures are of ulcers. So what you were talking about, the polyps, that's more like they're checking for cancer, which is why you go like at 50 years old and trying to make sure you don't have cancer. But mine was just like colon full of ulcers, which is not good news. But my sister says to me, she's like, okay, so be honest. Like, when you woke up,
Did you have AIDS?
God.
Straight to Final Jeopardy.
she was like, if you had not known, that you just went and got a colonoscopy, like, would you have known you were violated? And I was like, no, and that's kind of scary. Like,
Right? Because now, like, anytime you get put to sleep, you're like, am I being violated?
Yeah, like, it was kind of terrible. I was like, no, I had no... Like, I wasn't in pain or anything weird. Like, I would have never known that happened to me.
So you know how everybody's real rapey nowadays? You see it in the news, like, constantly.
All kinds of rapies going on.
In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I looked up this statistic. 1 in 4 people have been sexually abused and or raped.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy, right? Like, I read that and I was like, the next time I go to Myrtle Beach, I'm wearing a whistle. Now,
Jeez.
let's
Where
think
does
of,
that come out of talking about being violated from a colonoscopy?
let's think about this for a second. 1 in 4 people, right? How many people do we have sitting at the table right now?
Dun, dun, dun.
So the chances are one of us has been diddled or something. Something's happened.
Are you
to one
saying,
of us.
like, we've been violated, somebody's been violated, didn't know it? Is that what you're saying?
No, not necessarily didn't know it. But somebody at the table said no at one point, and somebody didn't listen to them. Now, it happened to me. I think this might be a first. I don't think I've ever talked about this before.
What?
I all but got raped one night. This is a true story. I swear to you,
I don't
it's
know
true.
if I should laugh or be serious.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Happened?
Like, this conversation took a
Yeah.
Katie, before I tell this, I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be aired. If you decide that you don't want this on the normal podcast, we'll edit it out and throw it into the patron page. So your decision. It was her.
What?
So
What are you talking about? It was me.
this is.
I did not violate you.
I tell you what. I'll tell the story, and we'll let everybody take a vote. We'll take a vote whether or not you got a little rapey or not. Okay.
This conversation's going so all over the place.
We stayed at a hotel one night in South Carolina, and you got rapey, didn't you? Look at her face. Look at her. That's the guilty face. Okay. There may have been some alcohol involved.
Right now?
I'm going to tell the story. You'll be all right. There may have been some alcohol
You'll be
involved.
all right.
And here's the thing about me and alcohol. You guys have seen me over here just drinking the alcohol. Sometimes I take it too far. And in this
Like
particular,
maybe now.
Yeah, maybe now. I've had enough vodka now that I'm telling the rape stories.
Now you're getting really brave, huh?
So we were in the hotel room, and obviously with all the kids we have, people know that we have sex, and that's what was happening in the hotel room. But I passed out because of all the alcohol I drank. And I woke up.
Well, to my defense, you will pass out in the middle of a conversation.
Right.
Not intoxicated, just...
I just go to sleep randomly.
I swear you have like...
You don't sleep enough.
You have like borderline narcolepsy or something.
So this is what happened.
He'll be talking to me and then all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I was dreaming about rainbows and kittens. I don't know.
Constantly, it's
Your
rainbows and
over
kittens.
there attacking John.
This was pretty weird.
It's bothering him. You need to fix it.
I was just sitting here and this popped out, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. Let's just move on." Think nothing of it. Bob's in the midst of a rape story. I'm gonna just pretend this isn't going on.
Pretend.
Jeez.
All right, so this is what happened.
Can't fix
I
it.
can't fix it.
It's fine. Just leave it there. So I pass out, all right, in the middle of us trying to be intimate. Well, I wake up, and when I woke up, the bottom half of me was on the bed, and the top half was hanging out like this. And somebody was on top and was being very aggressive, and I remember going,
What?
"Stop, no!" Because I was falling off the bed. And she goes, "I'm not stopping." And then I passed out again. So...
Well, I mean, it was consensual to begin with. So I don't know what you want me to say right now.
Bill Cosby said.
How does that hold up in court? Well, he said yes to start with, but then when he said no, I was like, I'll take the first answer.
You brought that up too. You do a good cause. Now you got to do your Cosby.
You do a Cosby impression?
Oh yes.
What?
God, hang on.
You have to.
Yes, can we please?
There's no way.
Can we please switch to a different? Something else.
Ridiculous.
Come on, man. You have to.
I want to see the pictures in the folder.
I just went to the Wait, you choose butthole pictures over Cosby impressions? All right, hang on.
I
let's
just
do
don't want to
this.
talk about
I'm
the
not
story
doing Cosby.
You have to.
Bob's in the midst of a rape story.
He's done. He's
I just
done.
threw Cosby out there as
We
like
don't have to be sensitive.
confetti.
See, okay. You
Confetti.
See, you see these white things?
So lost.
Those are ulcers.
Oh my gosh.
And
So-
then you have to do Cosby.
I don't
You
feel
have to,
comfortable
Like,
doing Cosby.
these look like they would be painful.
I'll tell you what. Hey,
Yeah.
guys, too much going on. You do your Cosby impression.
Excuse me?
There's too much going on. There's 4 mics. People right now are listening going, I can't understand anything.
I'm pretty sure this
This dude
story was
got
happening
raped.
first.
She's looking at butthole pictures. I don't know what's happening.
That's what's going on.
You do your Cosby
You
impression.
think about it for a minute.
You do your Cosby impression, and I will do an impression of anybody in the entire world that you pick. And it will be bad. So I will embarrass myself to hear your Cosby impression.
Oh my lord.
I have video
I mean-
of you doing it before. Another cool thing he does.
My Cosby was like pre-allegations, so it was actually funny when I was 15.
Well, just do it. Do you see the white things? Those are the ulcers. Do you see them?
I am...
You don't know what you're looking at.
Which way do I turn this paper? It all looks... This one looks like a slug.
So, see that thing?
I'm still uncomfortable with the fact that your husband is right
That
there,
thing?
and I'm looking at pictures of the
It's
inside
the
of your hands.
inside, though. It's not
Well, that's where it's important.
Oh my god.
what?
She put the paper back up.
Oh, well, you can look at it some
Okay,
more.
look at it some
I
more.
don't care. The rest of this is just doctor stuff.
This is like a train tunnel. Look at that. Poor guy.
Isn't it weird looking?
I think that's fascinating.
It is weird looking. This one looks like a flower. That's cool.
It's nasty.
Can we send this out in our email?
Oh my
I
god.
don't think anybody really actually wants to see that.
I don't think I've ever seen
We get emails sometimes.
If
There's
somebody really wants to see it,
Some-
I'll send it to you.
okay. Oh.
All right, John, do it.
Are you going to do the
All right,
Cosby
it's your
impression?
turn.
Here we go.
I
Cos,
don't
Cos.
really have any Cosby in me.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Before there's a lot of women that would disagree about not having any Cosby in them.
Oh my gosh.
He's still
You
playing
have
with the
to.
gate. Just leave the gate alone.
It's violating him. Look at it.
It's wood. The wood keeps hitting me.
That's what all the Cosby women said.
Oh, man.
Do you have have the gate duct taped to the shelf?
Yeah, because I wanted to make everybody comfortable. And apparently it was the wrong.
Just do the Cosby.
That's cool. I'm
He
down
can
with that.
also. He can also make a
Don't do it anymore.
awesome cricket noise. It sounds just like a cricket.
I can do that too. I have an app.
We're waiting for the Cosby.
I got nothing. That's too much.
Who do you want me
much
to do an
pressure.
impression of first? Tell me who you want me to do an impression of,
No
and
idea.
I will do it, and then let you do the
I
Cosby thing.
guarantee any impressions you do are going to be
Yeah.
better than his.
What if he, like, without telling him, what if he picked the one thing that I could do? Because there's one impression that I could do that is amazing. What if he picked that one thing in the universe?
Do it.
How awesome would that be?
I got no idea.
Man, come on. Really won't do it.
I mean,
I know fun.
it's silly.
No, it's not.
Theo, go upstairs and get Rudy. Tell him to come down with the Jello. I'm going to visit Claire.
Oh my god!
No, do the cricket.
I don't. I'm no more. No mas.
Man.
Oh. That's so
It
fun.
was way funnier like prior to all the allegations.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Could you imagine how good it would be if you drank?
Oh my gosh.
Anybody's impressions get better with
You sound
alcohol.
like a raging alcoholic. I swear you do.
I don't sound like a raging alcoholic. That's
And stuff would be
ridiculous.
breaking and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a raging alcoholic. I'm
Okay,
like a
so just a
normal
re- just a
alcoholic.
regular
Just a
alcoholic.
mild alcoholic.
Okay, on that note, can I take a bathroom break before we go into some
Yes.
questions?
That's fine. There's a bucket right over there.
Oh my gosh.
Does it have a
It's a
placenta
whitish
in it?
type of Tupperware bucket. Oh my gosh.
How did you get this thing off?
Sweating. Worked up a sweat over here.
I told you I had a good cricket.
That's great.
Oh my gosh. That's cheating.
I don't
It's
think I
not
can do it.
cheating.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
what, did you just do that? Do it again?
Yeah.
Do it again?
I can't do it now.
No, do it. It was amazing.
Nah, it'll happen later. If people are looking at
Too
me, I
much
start
pressure.
smiling.
I thought my phone was going off again. Dude, that's nuts.
That's crazy. Like, it sounds like a cricket, and like, it sounds like a cricket, like, you know, in the distance.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. That's wild.
So there's this show that plays on Comedy Central, and I don't know the name of it because I've only seen it.
Would you say a show on Comedy Central?
Cartoon Network, sorry.
Cartoon Network. Those are two
And
very different channels.
It's like it's like the adult Comedy Central thing.
Yeah.
It's like a big cup with a straw and some fries
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and a little meatball.
Did you really do it as soon as I left the
Oh
room?
god, I know the name of it. I forgot.
Let her put her mic on.
Just badly.
Oh my god, what is that?
What is that show called? Anyways, the little meat. I turned it there one night.
Meatwad.
Is it Meatwad? And I turned it there one night, and I heard Meatwad talking, and I was like, I can do that
Nice.
because
You
I'd
can
done
do
it like
that.
100 times, and it was this like scene where Meatwad wanted a big kid cup. That's what he wanted. He was like, I want a big kid cup. Matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull it up.
Do it one more time, John.
He did it like
I
5
missed
times.
him. Because he did it when I left. And
Wild.
I need more
he
liquid.
used to do it, like, just mess with people.
Much louder. That was pretty lame. Actually.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
it sounds like it's like a cricket outside.
Yeah, and people would be like, where's that? Dang it. He messed with
That's
you.
crazy.
I figured that out in like 4th grade because a friend of mine named David could do that, but his sounded like a coach's whistle. I couldn't pull that off, but I pulled the cricket off.
Excuse me.
Your throat just
I
made a
love you.
noise.
No. I can't find the big kid cup. Let me see what this is.
I'm super nervous. Come on, Meatwad. As long as I've known you, this has been your dream, man. I can't be pursuing every dream. I mean, last night I had a dream where I was swimming with Joy Fatone and NSYNC, and then he turned into a corn dog and my teeth fell out. How am I supposed to...
What? Oh my gosh.
I had a dream last night that I was swimming with Joey for turn and my teeth fell out.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Like, I didn't copy him. I knew how to do that from.
Cup one.
Oh, yeah, he was. Okay, this was the scene. The scene was they were at like a restaurant and they ordered some food and they gave Meatwad one of the little cups with the lid on it. And he got upset because he was like, he wanted a big kid. And he's, well, I was going to come with a little, and I'm grown out. I want a big kid cup. And I think I could drink out of a big kid cup. And he argued and argued and argued. And finally they were like, okay, here's the big kid cup. And he goes, thank you. And he grabs it, knocks it over, and spills it all over the place. And like, that was the first time I'd ever seen the show. And I remember seeing it and going, I do that exact same voice. It had nothing to do with Meatwad. It was something I'd done from years and years earlier. Do you remember what his name was, the voice that I did?
Turtle.
Yeah, Turtle, Tiny Tim. So I actually recorded a song singing in that voice a long time ago. I don't have a copy of it anymore. So
Why don't you sing us the song, Bob?
no, I'm good.
Please, just like
for Reagan,
just
she
like-
loved your singing.
she was lovely. Just like a little bit. Like you don't have to do the whole thing.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just the tip.
Cosmic.
Just the tip. You guys ever seen that movie? What's it called? Wiener something.
what? Sausage party?
Sausage Party. That's what it was. Not kid friendly.
Disturbing.
Yeah. I can do it. I hate there's no music, but I think I can do it. It's been years.
That was like
Years.
very formal. Did you see how he was
Yeah.
like this?
So
Nobody can see that, but it looks so serious.
Okay, here we go. I had a turtle. His name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the bubbles. He ate a bar of soap. Now I got a turtle with a bubble in his throat. She loves it. That's how I married her. That was when we got engaged. I got on one knee. That was the speech I gave her right there. And she was like, "Yes."
I gotta do this more often, y'all. My face hurts from laughing so much.
So you had questions, right? Are we done with the
I
placenta
have lots of questions.
colonoscopy story? We have an hour of colonoscopy and placenta stories.
Good grief.
And what a fantastic hour it has been.
Yeah. Speaking of gross things, patreon.com/the Bob and Katie Show.
Nothing grosses me out. Like, I don't get grossed out easily.
You want to know? Okay, this is funny because I'm on your show and y'all are talking about how I'm grossing you out, talking about placentas and all this. So I have a serious vomit phobia. And y'all are curing me of this a little bit because
my
y'all
gosh.
talk about vomit all the time.
Does the noise mess you up? Like when somebody starts dry heaving, does that like freak you out?
Yeah, but it's
Because I do such a good one. Like I do a great
don't
job.
do
no
it.
thanks. No, thank you.
I can make my eyes turn red
No
and start to
thanks.
water when I do it.
Him and his brother.
Yeah, I'll
No,
show you.
please. I'm good.
If you make her throw up, stop.
Oh, stop it.
Oh my God, stop.
I will run out of the room.
Stop. Seriously, you gotta stop. That's disgusting.
Where's the placenta bucket?
Right? Gosh.
She just peed in it.
You know, people thinking we have a bucket sitting in our house with a placenta
We don't.
and urine.
We got a brand new house, but it doesn't have indoor plumbing.
I really do, though. Like, I seriously
We have
a
4
vomit
bedrooms
thing.
and a 5-gallon bucket.
But y'all are always talking about vomit. And I remember I can't remember what it was, but one of your first times y'all were talking about that on the show, and I was like, oh, I gotta skip through this part, I think. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna make myself listen. And I have made myself listen to like
You hear that?
every time you're
we're
talking
saving
about
lives.
vomit.
We're changing things. We're,
Right.
Yeah, and I feel better about it now.
Our kids had some kind of stomach virus where they were both vomiting
Oh my
like
God, yeah, it was
repeatedly
so bad.
all day.
We're not going to talk about this again, right?
And
Yeah, let's don't.
but that's one of the
I
worst.
just don't like.
Talked about
That's one of the worst days of my life.
I just don't like reliving the situation.
It was so
Sorry.
bad.
Anyway, yeah, I have questions. I have a lot of them. But one thing I wanted to talk about is your anger. Because John seems to be a rager just like you. And
I'm reformed.
so, but I want to know more about your anger. Like, do you, like, John explains it like this to me because I'm always like, I'm super chill. I don't get, it takes a lot to make me angry, like a really lot. And John explains it like, you know how normal people, like, if you're thinking about levels, like a normal person's at a level 5, or maybe they're even at a 2. Like
Out of
they're
what?
super chill. At a 10. He's like, I
have a 12.
well, he explains it like he lives at like an 8.
Yeah.
Like a resting state. I wake up at like a 5, 8.
So then, like, if something happens, it just sends him to 10, like nothing,
Like, you know,
because he's already at 8.
Your resting heart rate, like that's your resting anger rate.
Yeah.
That's pretty true.
Is that how you
that's
feel?
accurate.
Or is it? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, that's a weird analogy, but I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Because I'm always ready to explode. It's kind of like if you have a firecracker, but then you cut the fuse.
Yeah.
So you only have this little tiny bit of fuse, and then somebody's messing with it, and then it goes, poof. I'm always there. I'm always ready to explode.
What happens if you explode?
There's like dents in the walls. I like to punch
Throw
walls.
things,
I
yell,
punch walls.
Curse a lot.
I mean, I curse a lot, but I don't think it's anything with anger. Anger?
What are you asking me? Anger.
Anger,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes. Your anger. That is exactly
Yeah,
right.
no, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm not an unhappy person.
You don't seem like you are.
I just like things to be smooth.
He's a happy, angry man.
Yeah. I'm a happy, angry person. I don't like stupid.
He's a functioning, angry man.
Like, are you grumpy most days? Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
just overall, like, pessimistic, maybe?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
say the word correctly.
Yeah.
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 Pessimistic.
Yeah,
I'm always
sorry.
like, this is going to screw up.
This is gonna suck.
And when it does, I'm like, I told you it was going to mess up.
I think that's why we work as a married couple.
Did I
because
wake the kids up? Just now?
I'm like, I'm a very nice person, and I think you guys are probably the same way. And so like I kind of like overcompensate for his anger, so we balance each other out.
Good call. Very true. Because I'm the same way. I figure it's going to screw up automatically. So I'm like, all right, when this messes up, we're going to have to fix it with this.
Anytime we have to leave the house, and especially anytime we have to leave the house and take her to do,
Yeah.
he's like, this is horrible.
If she tells me, like, it'll be 6 o'clock at night, and she's like, tomorrow morning we have to go to
And I
this
have
place.
to tell him
Oh, yeah, you
in
know it's gonna
advance.
be-
And I'm
I
like,
can't just spring things on.
It'll
him,
ruin
like,
my night because I'm thinking about how bad the morning's going to be. And then when the morning happens, I'm like, I told you. And then we get in the car and I'm like, whatever we're going to do right now, not worth it. Whatever this is that's happening, we should have just stayed home because if we stayed home, we wouldn't have had to deal with what we just dealt with.
We never get in the car to go somewhere happy. Like, by the time we pull out of our driveway, he's been angry, and I have
Happy
built
is
up,
subjective.
and I'm now angry too.
Do I think the park is a fun and happy place? Sure. It can be, and it is.
If you're alone and not with other humans.
But the process,
It's too people-y out here.
not with other people. He's like, I go by myself and watch the children,
No. I stay away from all the children.
and then I go get a prostate exam and sing. I stay away from I don't touch the children.
I'm gonna pee in this chair.
I just look at them and pee in this chair. What are you talking about? What are you bringing into this right now? Did you pee in the chair?
No, I said,
And the placenta.
Do you need to
bucket.
pee?
oh god.
Go to the bathroom. I got two other people I can talk to. I don't need you here.
I have a weak bladder. If I laugh too hard,
She does. She
I
has
might pee
a
on
weak bladder.
myself.
Do you have a weak bladder?
That's a very personal
No,
question.
I don't care. I don't care.
She showed me pictures of the inside of her
Yeah,
anus.
I'm pretty sure it's just fair game now.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say fair game. That's once again, husband right there. It's not fair game.
Oh my
How long have you guys been married?
Like,
2011.
yeah.
You guys don't know how long you've been married?
They were both like,
I don't
let's
know.
see.
I know the year.
Give
I
me a
said.
guess. 6 years?
2011.
So it's
Yes.
7 years?
Yes.
Okay. So 8 years ago, fair game. Tonight, not fair game. It's not how the game
We're
works.
creeping up on 10 years together, though.
That's true.
Y'all been together forever.
A long time.
Long time. To answer your question, weak bladder, though, no, I would not how she describes it because I've heard
I've watched her laugh before and then run away.
But I will say
Run away.
that after I had Reagan,
Brother Bear.
it's not like what you described where you're like pee yourself a little bit. It's more of
A
like
little bit. She took her underwear off and threw them in a hamper.
What?
Tell me you haven't done that. Say it out loud. Say, no, I haven't done that.
I'm not denying it.
But I'll just
As you were,
when
Ashley.
I have to pee though, all of a sudden I'll have to pee, and then it's like an emergency. It's like it comes on me so fast. Like I was shopping with my mom the other day in TJ Maxx, and we went to the dressing room. I was fine, walking in the dressing room, fine, and then all of a sudden I was like, I got
pissed
pee.
on the floor in the dressing room.
But I was like, I gotta pee, and then you're thinking, well, it just came on, so I'm fine. I can wait a minute. No, I couldn't. And it's to the point where I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to make it to the bathroom. I always seem to, but I'm real scared that I'm not going to make it.
Just live your life in in horror. Just like, oh my God, I'm going to pee. Like, that's your daily life.
Or
When you're
see
like-
vomit. Don't forget
Yeah.
the vomit.
Oh
Or
my
see
God.
vomit.
John didn't believe me since this is like a vomit. It's a
That's
for real
true.
phobia of mine. I said to John when we got married, I was like, listen, it's a serious thing and you're going to see vomit around me. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm
It
telling
just floats
you.
in the air.
It shows up.
I was like, I'm telling you, because I'm so terrified of it, it follows me everywhere. And he didn't believe me. He was like, whatever. And I was like, okay, just wait.
I never even think about it. She saw it several times. Like we were at the mall one day. I was like, "Look, somebody's vomiting. I'm
Somebody
getting the
just
hell out of here."
vomited.
And I'm like,
We
"What
were
are you
at
talking about? Where's the? Oh
right
yeah,
there,
I guess so."
And then like another day, we were at like a one of those
Traffic.
auto
It's
park.
happened like 2 or 3 times.
Yep. Just somebody putting their head out the window, throwing up. We were at AutoZone.
Where do you guys hang out?
No, it's just because it
We try to
follows
stay
me.
home.
Yeah, it follows her around.
We were at the auto parts store one day, and
don't
we were
feel so
getting
good.
in the parking lot, and somebody was getting into their car and threw up outside the car. I mean, it happens everywhere around me all the time.
What a weird
And-
superpower to have.
Hey,
She makes the vomit appear.
and listen to this. So recently,
What does she do? She makes people throw up. And then she runs away.
Recently, we had a grad assistant. Well, no, she. It doesn't matter anyway. Somebody new in our office, but a student. Her very first day on the job, I felt so bad for her. Very first day on the day, we're in the staff meeting. All
Just
these
hear
people,
choke up. This
all
is
these
gonna be
people.
good.
And luckily, the staff meeting had actually ended, so most of the people had already walked out of the room. But there was probably like 4 or 5 of us that were still standing around. And all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, I don't feel good." And she puts her head down on the table, and she's like, "I think I'm gonna faint." And we're like, "Oh God!" And then she kind of faints a little bit, and somebody kind of held her up, but she did faint a little bit. And somebody was smart enough to go get a garbage can and put it behind her. I didn't think it because I just thought she was going to faint. And then she like comes to, and then all of a sudden she's like, and then she starts throwing up in the middle of the conference room. And I was
my
out of the
gosh.
door, like before she even started vomiting. I was out.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Totally going.
And I felt like a horrible human because I'm like, all these people are in there being so kind to her and like helping. And,
She's got plenty of help.
And I'm like,
out.
whoo, I'm
good.
out.
So what happens when your daughter throws up?
We have been really lucky so far that we haven't really experienced like some of the stuff that y'all have talked about.
You should have never said that out loud.
I know. Knock on wood.
There's gonna be a text message tomorrow night.
Better stop.
Well, she's
Ashley's gonna be like, guess what? I'm at Port City, Java, and John is at home with Reagan because she's throwing up all over the place.
she's thrown up before. The worst that it ever was though, she probably was like 6 months old or so. So
Oh,
it
that's
was like
spit
milk,
up. That's
you
not-
know, and
yeah,
it wasn't.
that's not-
Well, she threw up a lot, and she threw up
you
all
can
over
drink
me.
that. It's okay.
But it was,
Ew.
but it was just milk. And the few times that she's thrown up, really, like since she eats food and stuff, it's just been like one little nothingness. And so I really haven't experienced all of the stuff y'all have gone through. Hope I don't have to, but I'm sure at some point I will.
Well, you have a couple more, and the odds play in that favor. So,
Oh my God. Yeah. I feel so many bodily fluids.
All right, Bob.
yes,
Finish this sentence. I secretly love.
secretly. What do I love secretly?
I don't know. It's gotta be like embarrassing or something. Do you know? Do you know the answer, Katie?
You know something I secretly love?
The Little Mermaid?
That's not a secret.
You're pretty open about.
Yeah, maybe you don't have this
Everything.
because you just tell all.
It's hard. I want to think that I know everything about you.
I mean, I have things that I love that I probably shouldn't, but I don't normally keep them a secret.
Like what?
That TikTok song by Kesha, so good. It's
Oh my God.
you guys laugh if you want to, but that song's catchy as hell.
It is. It's one of those songs that like you hate and it just gets in your head.
I love Celine Dion.
Get out of
He
here.
even put his hand on his face,
Yeah.
like all serious. Like, I just love her.
Yeah, he really does.
Her husband died, and I was like, Katie, you in some trouble because I'm about to get out of here.
Gosh.
Moving to
Have you
Canada.
seen, what is that girl, that
Or
Grande
Vegas.
girl? What's her face? Ariana Grande,
Oh,
or whatever
yeah.
her face is. She does a hell of an impression, that girl. I don't like her at all, but her impressions are amazing. And she does a Celine Dion that is like dead on.
You know what's amazing? Your eyebrow action.
What?
Just watch her the rest of the night. Her eyebrows, they're all over the place.
I'm very animated with my
Yeah.
face. I can't
Yeah,
help
she's
it.
an animated face.
Expressive.
Yeah, it's alright. That
Expressive.
Okay, that was your question?
was one of them.
You said, how long did you sit down and come up with this stuff? What's next? Let's keep going.
I want to know her answer too.
Okay, what's your answer?
What do you secretly love?
Some guy named Tom.
What? Oh, jeez.
While you're
have
thinking,
no secrets.
I'll
I
out
don't
John because I know some of his. So he secretly loves the Golden Girls for sure.
I love the Golden Girls. Not a secret.
Yeah.
Yep, I love the
I
Golden
feel
Girls.
like most of
Oh,
my
that
stuff
crazy Blanche.
is not a secret either.
Yeah.
So.
You
Yeah,
secretly.
I feel like I
love-
really don't have many secrets.
Like every time I get upset, I like to eat cheesecake too.
Yeah.
So it's real. You can relate to it.
The Golden Girls is good times. I'm telling you. But like he like loves it on a level I don't think you understand because
I mean,
he
I have all the
owns all of
seasons.
them.
Really?
It's
Yes.
true.
Oh.
Just
And you
in
don't
case.
drink.
I know.
You know how awesome it
You're
would be
harping on that.
just to like bring your seasons of the Golden Girls over and we just like take shots of vodka all night and watch the Golden Girls. That'd be, it would
my
get better and
gosh.
better and better
That's
and
true.
better.
I couldn't do
Oh
it.
my
I couldn't
gosh.
I don't need any inhibitions down anymore. I would be in prison.
And you secretly
In
love.
prison. Jesus. Those are the secret things that we need to know about. See, John walks around going, I just want to kill people. And luckily, I don't drink.
Yep.
That's rage.
Too small for prison. Too small
Oh
for
my
prison.
gosh. I don't
And
know
we're
how
back
to
to
answer
buttholes.
this question. I can't think of a single thing that I like secretly.
John also secretly loves purple. He probably would admit that, but he really
Oh, yeah.
loves purple a little too much.
What's too much? Like, what do you mean too much?
I mean, like he has some purple socks.
I got purple
He's
socks.
got purple shirts, but he
I got a purple
really
shirt.
enjoys purple.
I got purple
Like if
underwear.
I wear purple, he's like real excited about it. He just
Whoa. Whoa.
Why do you say whoa? Like that's
Look at your
weird.
crazy face.
Did you see her face? Did you see her eyebrows? She's like, when I wear purple, he gets real excited.
Oh god.
I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying.
What was that? What was that McDonald's character? The big purple guy?
Grimace?
Yeah, Grimace. He's like, I'm on it.
You mean Grimace?
Yeah.
I got it.
So you have nothing.
So were you a big fan of the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater too?
I can't think of a single thing. What do I secretly love? I don't even know.
I
I
actually,
kind of like this answering for each other.
I'm gonna upset you guys, but
Oh.
I actually do know something, and I can't tell you.
Why?
She has a deep secret, and one day we'll bring it out. Not today.
I don't even know what you could even be thinking of. I seriously.
It's something that I get.
Yeah.
It's something that I get aggravated with you about.
Yard gnomes. I love yard gnomes.
She does
Is that a
yard
secret?
gnomes.
Like, I wish I had so many. I have one.
I got.
I plan to have a whole entire collection one day.
You can make it happen. Put it on the show. Tell the fans. to
I have
bring
one
the
in
gnomes.
here somewhere.
Send me your
Oh,
yard
there he is.
gnomes.
Yeah. Your yard will be full.
I secretly love roller skates and roller skating, and I have my own skates
I used to love roller skating whenever I
and
was
ice skating.
a kid. And then we went to a birthday party a couple years ago at the skating rink, and I was like, I used to love skating. I'm going to try this. Surely it's not going to be that hard.
No.
Oh no, it was not like riding a bike.
For me, it is. I love roller.
It was
I get too
bad.
excited
It was
about roller
bad.
skating.
I loved it when I was like 14.
No offense
But-
to anyone, but I feel like we should move on to the next question.
Find it.
It isn't going
Jeez.
anywhere. I'm sorry. I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm like, I'm not really enjoying it. I'm here.
I was remembering the joy of my childhood, Bob.
Why don't you do that on somebody?
Crushing it.
Do that on somebody else's dime.
This is the Bob and Katie show. Jeez Louise.
Tell me about one of your most embarrassing moments that you can laugh about now.
Mine is definitely the time, I would think I was like 15. I've told this story for sure. And I was skateboarding at a park in Leland, and I was doing kick flips, and apparently I split my pants. And I didn't know it until I was on top of the bleachers, and there was these two young girls, and they kept looking up and giggling. And I was like, why are these girls laughing at me for? And then I realized my testicles were hanging out of my pants.
Yikes.
And then I went and sat in the van for like 2 hours while my brother was playing t-ball. That's how young he was. And I went and sat in the van, just embarrassed to death because two little 9-year-old girls saw my testicles.
Well, I know mine hands down one of my most embarrassing moments ever.
When you farted in class?
I was in 6th grade. I remember it vividly. We were taking a test.
It's funny because she's not embarrassed now. She farts all the time.
And my pencil rolled off my desk, and I bent over.
Yep.
Put that
I
force
bent
behind
over
it.
to get it, and it just slid out. And it was so loud. And
The fart, not the pencil.
The whole class started laughing. I've never wanted to crawl under a rock more.
That same thing, that's my most embarrassing story also, except it wasn't a pencil. I sneezed in class and farted at the same time. And it was around the same age also. But it was so embarrassing.
I want you guys to think about this. If you fart and sneeze at the same time, that's probably as close to death as you'll ever come without actually dying. Because, I mean, like, think about it. When you sneeze, what happens? Your eyes close, you see bright lights. So you got air, you're seeing these bright lights, your eyes are closed, you got air going out the front, the back, and it's all loud. Like, that's pretty close to death.
You should also hear me sneeze, because people in my office laugh. It's very violent. When
I don't have
like,
a girly sneeze.
I don't want you to sneeze, because that
I went to school.
I love sneezing. I think it feels so good.
It does feel good.
I went to
It's
school
like a
with
tiny little
girls,
orgasm.
Yeah, it feels great. But I still
You
to
make
this
that
day,
face if you want to. The next time you sneeze, you can be like, you're right, that did feel good.
But I still to this day, when I sneeze, like I'm like careful.
I have a spot on
Because
my
it
head
makes
that I
me-
can push with my fingernail and it makes me sneeze.
Do you look at the sunlight and it makes you sneeze? John doesn't. He thinks I'm a weirdo.
I try to
yeah,
stay
that
away
was-
from the sunlight
that
in
was-
pretty much all
I'm like,
aspects
no,
of my
that's the
life.
thing. Like, because if I have to
think
sneeze
I
and
can
I want
find
to
it?
get it out, I'll look at the
Yeah.
sunlight and it makes me sneeze. And he's like, no, that just doesn't
That's
happen.
crazy.
I can't do it when people are watching. I have something right here.
He does. It's so weird.
That's
I'm
bizarre.
close. I can feel it. It's like you see my eyes starting to water a little bit. Yeah, I press on with my fingernail.
What about you, John?
Pressing in your head.
Embarrassing moment.
I'm sure I've got a bunch. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of embarrassing moments. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But that one, yeah, that's my most embarrassing moment.
Okay, what's next? I'm still going to continue to do this till I
And then
sneeze.
just keep touching your head till you sneeze.
You're like
All right, then.
stabbing yourself with your fingernails in your head.
What's one of your biggest pet peeves?
I just don't like it when people do things that like you look at it and go, I think anybody could have done that better.
One of my pet peeves is whenever you get done with a shopping cart and people
And they don't let you know that the shit don't work right.
Well, that too, I guess. But yeah, when they don't put them back, especially when they're like right near the little corral thing where it goes and they don't put it back.
Yeah.
That bugs me so bad.
What was the question again?
Your pet peeves.
That's really not a question. Read the question. I don't.
What is one of your pet peeves?
Oh, just one of them?
Yeah, some
So
of
your
them.
top one. What is your top?
I have no idea.
There's so many.
You're just so
Yeah, I
mad.
have a lot.
Like he said,
everything
We could
makes
just keep
you
rattling them
equal.
off.
I float from 8 to 10. So it's all of
We
them.
could have a box
It's
set
all equal.
episode of the podcast for this question.
I
You just make
think
a
I have
list.
two. Like one of them is when people aren't logical, like when something doesn't make logical sense, I get so irritated. I'm like, that doesn't.
That's what
make
I just
logical
said like
sense.
3
I don't
minutes ago. Like anybody could have done that better.
It just makes me
Anybody.
mad. That and just being wasteful. I hate when people are like, for example, somebody's like, "Oh, I have this in my house and it works perfectly fine, but I'm just gonna get another one or trash this to buy another one." Like
Now, I'm wasteful. But it's because I get mad.
What?
I'm trying to think of an example.
What are you
Like,
talking about?
Okay, here's an example. A little child crapped in this clothes 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a week ago. I don't know. And then I was like, just throw them away. I'm done. Just throw them away. And we threw them away.
The clothes?
The clothes.
It was a onesie.
Yeah.
It was a onesie.
Well, sometimes things get ruined.
It was like
that you're like,
it wasn't anything
can't say
special,
this.
and he was about to grow out of it, and so I was like, and I was really tired, and I didn't feel like scrubbing the poop out, so I was like, okay.
Forget about it.
I don't mean stuff like that though. I mean just more like I'm trying to think of an example.
I run the water when I brush my teeth the whole time.
I don't do that.
I'm a rebel.
I mean, like, silly stuff, and you're not going to agree with me on this because I've heard y'all talk about phones. Like, I have an old phone. This is the first iPhone I ever had, and I got it when Reagan was born. And so in 2014.
That's an iPhone 2?
I think it's
Is that what it is?
4. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't keep up. I don't care.
I got mine right after Reagan and Riley were born. So.
The only reason I even got this is because when she was born, I was like, well, I mean, it would be nice to have, like, pictures and stuff, because I literally had like one of those old, not a flip phone, but the ones that like it had like the little keyboard for texting flipped out. You know
I used to have one of those. My dad has a Razor. Like right
and
now.
like TVs, same thing. Like we had like an old crappy TV forever, and everybody's like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why don't you have a new fancy TV?" And I was like, "I don't know. This thing works." Like I don't see this. I don't understand spending money.
Yeah.
On stuff that like
this TV, Bob bought me this TV for Christmas.
Oh, it makes me sick to my stomach.
I think it's our second Christmas that we were married, so it was a long time
I paid
ago.
$1,000 for that
And the
TV.
TV in our living room was given to us for free. So.
That TV right now, you can buy it for like $380.
Yeah.
It was just like,
you got any?
I hate the crosswalk people. I could talk for a long time about how I want to run into these people and
the
kill them all.
crosswalk people. What are you talking about?
All the
Not only does he want to
crosswalk
run, he's like, I just want
It's
to
like
kill
something
them
from a
all.
horror movie.
Obliterate them all. The idiots.
It was a dark night, and then the crosswalk.
They're just
people
doing this, and they're just walking in front of your car, and you're supposed to just magically yield, and I'd like to just drag them.
But y'all have to remember, we work at a
streets.
university, so like that's a
So,
the height of idiocy.
just so
and
we're all
privilege.
clear, 1 or 2 shots in this guy, and he's going to start running
gonna
over
kill you.
people with his car.
Oh my gosh.
well, and that's
Absolutely.
something that we teach Reagan. Like it's so irritating to me. People walk right in front of your car and they don't wave.
Just smile,
and I'm like,
wave.
So we teach Reagan.
Give me the
like,
finger.
you have
Any of the
give me the
above.
finger.
Just
You have
acknowledge
to
me.
wave at somebody.
So I don't think we have mentioned this yet, that they also have a daughter named Reagan. who
You
is
have
this-
mentioned it in quite a few episodes.
but we haven't said this.
They don't know that that's me.
Yeah.
She's having a stroke right now.
I started talking and then wasn't sure what I wanted to say.
Now the Bob Show.
Yeah.
So I'm the one that also has a
Welcome
Reagan.
everybody to the
Same
Bob and
age.
Bob Show. Katie used to be here, but now she is a vegetable.
My brain was just like,
She's in the room. She
no.
smells bad because I don't clean her. She's gonna get bed sore soon.
That's a good one though, John. For real.
I hate those
'Cause
people.
So-
they don't wave.
So,
What
John,
vegetables?
you're an angry person. You
Every
have
version.
you have a
I'm a
3-year-old.
recovering angry person.
Does she ever pick up any of your angry,
Yes.
bad habits?
Yes.
Because I see that with our kids, and not just his, but mine too. And like whenever I see them doing or saying something that we do or say, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
She doesn't do that as much as she has come to me like, why Daddy angry? Like she's like, she's like,
Pancake again. It's the pancake.
Doesn't it make you feel bad when they ask
course,
that?
yeah.
Why is Daddy so
It's
mad?
like, I'm going to go
so
put
mad.
myself in time.
Reagan and Riley, they walked up to me one night. I was washing dishes, and they came up to me, and he wasn't like even mad. They just said, "Why is Daddy mad?"
And you feel terrible.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't know what to say.
It's because Daddy's a
Like,
bad
oh.
person. Don't be like me.
It just gets angry.
People in the
at
crosswalk
me.
again.
The crosswalk people. They just
you
put
you
him over
kinda
the edge.
did put yourself in timeout the other day.
I did. I've done that many times.
So we were no, it's funny. So
Ashley gets home from work and he's just standing with his
in the
nose on the
corner.
wall.
Reagan's playing.
I'm in timeout.
well, okay. So let me.
She's
give
eating her
you-
cottage cheese and nuts.
Let me give you some backstory. So I'm just kind of a really naturally happy person, and John, like, probably one of the biggest arguments we have as a married couple.
John, do you know how many pictures of drawn penises your wife has sent me?
Oh Oh my god. Don't interrupt her
Sorry,
story.
Where did that come from? Anyway.
Jeez.
They'll be on the
Talking about
website.
being happy and he brings up penis.
It came out of that bottle.
She's a happy penis drawer.
Anyway.
Her penises have smiley faces on them. And sunglasses.
I'm a very happy person.
Okay.
And so is Reagan. Like, she has the same kind of temperament. She's just like, I'm so happy to be alive. And then John walks in and he's like, "Rah!" And
Not all the time.
These pancakes again.
The pancakes and the crosswalk people.
And so me and Reagan and I were eating dinner the other night, having a good old
Holy crap. She says eating like you do.
What did I say? How did I say it?
Eden.
Oh, my bad.
Like it's a garden.
That's how I say it, and he picks on me so bad.
Do you say all of your INGs with an E and a D at the end?
I have no
Or a
idea.
D at the end? I don't even know how to
I
spell
don't
it. 'cause it
know. You're
ain't real.
calling me out. I'm just trying to tell a story.
Okay, tell the
You
story.
throwing her off her game.
I know. I'm like, what? Anyway.
So they were eating.
eating dinner.
And the snake came down, and then there was the...
He said, don't touch the
And then
apple.
John comes in.
Listen, lady, don't eat that apple. And she's like, I'm going to eat this apple. I don't care. And then everybody got AIDS.
Oh my god.
That's pretty much
That's
how it
what
went down.
Christmas
He
is
came
all
in
about,
he was-
boys and
He
girls.
was really angry, and he was just like, "Ugh." And he
It's because you ate the apple.
but just because we were talking, like we were like happy and talking, we weren't being silent, and that was making him angry. So he was like,
So do you guys just sit in your house, just like with the TVs off, just in silence?
"No, no." But he like sometimes when he's angry, he wants it to be silent, and he gets so angry at like noises. And so he was so angry.
She got mad at me. Was it today or was it last night? Because I turned Alexa off, had a music playing, and I was like, I just unplugged it because I couldn't even
I
tell.
was listening to music, which I don't.
I couldn't even tell her to stop because you just go, Alexa, stop, and she'll stop. But I couldn't even talk. I was like, I grabbed it and I was shaking and I just pulled the plug out. Die, Alexa, die! I think it was playing some happy song.
It's like Bruno Mars or something. You're just like, ah.
But he sat down and he was trying to eat, and he was getting so mad, and he was like, "I just want to eat in silence." and he
This is when I went into the car and ate by
so he
myself.
took his food, left us,
I've done
his
that.
food,
I've
and went
eaten
and
in
ate
the car
in the
before.
car. And I was like, should I be offended right now? Like,
No, I was trying to shield everyone from myself.
He was protecting you.
Lord.
I'm going to go get in the car before I have any drinks and kill everybody.
Never in my life have I
my
felt like
gosh.
that. Like, I
Have
need
you-
to get away.
You're married to the non-alcoholic version of Bob.
Yeah. All right, check it out. Slow down. Have you ever watched F is for Family?
No.
You have to see that.
Sounds good.
It's us.
I just don't know where this anger comes from. I never feel
I
like
was happy
that.
in the car. I just went
See,
out there
I feel like after 10 years of marriage, that his anger is like starting to rub off on me.
Do you want to punch that gate?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not
Is it getting
yet.
there?
I mean, if it starts coming out again.
It's like that gate's going one more.
Gate!
No, y'all don't understand.
Got one more chance.
If that was at our
It's game
house,
time.
he would have already ripped it off the wall.
I don't think that's true.
Yes.
I've never ripped stuff off the wall.
You have broken many things because
Accidentally.
you're mad at
Not
it.
vehemently with
Oh,
hatred.
God.
What was that word?
Vehemently?
What does that mean? Y'all can't be coming here with this college education stuff. Have you ever listened to our show before? She's like, what's that word when you dig
Never
things
living
up and
that
cover
down.
them? And he's
Never-
like,
never living that
vehemently.
down.
I don't even know how to say it. I can remember.
I told you they're all smarter than me. You don't believe me.
God. Oh my gosh.
That's not true.
All right, next question.
I have some Bob o'clock news.
Oh, okay.
I'm more interested in the question.
Well, we
Check
could go
this
at
out.
this all night.
Check this out right here.
Welcome to the Bob O'Clock News.
What's,
Dane Cook. Do you remember that dude?
Yep,
I remember that.
yep.
One. Yep.
He's
da-
45.
He's dating a 19-year-old. Look how young she
Man,
is.
He's looking long in a tooth.
Isn't
Look
that?
how old he is.
There
He
might
looks
be a
like
better
that.
picture down here. It didn't load up because our internet sucks.
I don't feel good about that. Man.
So-
He looks haggard.
I don't even
how
think that's the same
old-
guy.
He looks so different.
Yeah, that doesn't look like him.
So some people would go, that's really gross. It's gross. It's just gross. Here's my thing.
Even his chest hair is gray.
How old am I? I'm 32. The thought of hanging out with a 19-year-old girl, oh my, I'm just like, give me a gun and put some like whipped cream on it because it's going in my mouth.
Oh my God.
It's like I have nothing against 19-year-old girls. I'm just not there anymore. Mm-hmm. Like when I hear them talk, I'm just like, oh, just die. Just walk in front of a truck because I just want to rip my face off. Yeah, go stand in that crosswalk. I'm going to give John some alcohol, and we're going to work all this out together.
Yeah.
45 years old. You can't date a 19-year-old.
What do they talk about? What do they possibly have a conversation about?
Instagram. That's got to be it. That's the only thing they have relatable. You know who else did that? Do you remember you ever guys watch the movie Green Mile?
Oh, yes, I love that.
So you know the horrible guy?
I know that guy.
He's like 60 now. Like the young guy? Yeah. He's like 60. He married some 18-year-old girl.
What?
She's all slutted out with the...
Yeah.
Excuse me, what?
You got a little something.
It's really bad. It's really bad. Hang on, I'm just figuring out to drag it over. Sorry, this is hard to maneuver drunk.
Are you that drunk?
Me? Yeah, oh yeah.
Gosh, you're drunk. You don't look drunk.
I handle it very well.
He's drunk sometimes, and I never know. He was just like, I am so drunk, and I'm like, what? When did that happen?
Well, he's been sitting there drinking quite a bit, but I don't know how people.
You brought the bottle.
Was I just gonna keep running downstairs? You know I drink a lot.
He's also like, I don't know these people. You're making these people go to my house. I don't even know them. I gotta get drunk to talk to them.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Doug Hutchinson. Is that how you say it? When you college people read that?
Hey, P.S. by the way, too, when y'all were talking about serial killers, I wanted to be here so bad. I know a lot about serial killers. I'm fascinated by serial killers.
Yeah, that's him. And you'll see what I was referring to.
It's disturbing how fascinated I am with serial killers.
Did y'all watch Mindhunter yet?
Not yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Because didn't he marry her when she was like 17 and a half or something?
I remember seeing a movie years ago, and I believe it was called Mindhunter. And so I'm wondering, I need to like Google it or something.
Nope, 16.
If it's like based.
Oh my God, the relationship drew controversy and criticism as she was 16 and he was 50 years old. Mm-hmm. It was the pumpkin patch. Do you remember the pumpkin patch stuff? Yeah. Check this out.
The pumpkin patch.
Yeah, wife, pumpkin, P-U-M-P. Pumpkin, is that right? Ken Patch. This is hard. Bam, there it is.
I told you she was looking on
Oh my God!
See?
Who goes to a pumpkin patch like that in stripper heels? Who poses with pumpkins like?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Great.
I'm a little concerned that you knew this.
Hey.
Whether you knew it?
He knew this.
I found out about it on Tell Him Steve Dave. He likes to sing when people touch his butthole, so I don't know. I can't tell you anything.
Not true. I heard about it on a show like years ago.
Could you imagine if you go take your kids to a pumpkin patch and like this is what's happening?
Like there was probably families with children around.
How douchey is it that 50-year-old is wearing that beanie?
Really that dude? Like that's the dude.
That's him, man.
Like she is straight up wearing stripper heels and booty shorts. What is he wearing?
I'm sorry, that girl is with that guy because he must have money. Because he looks awful.
He looks like a hobo.
He looks like a homeless person.
Let's figure that out. So we're gonna go back.
He and I don't mean physically. I mean the way he is dressed. He looks like a 10-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although he is over 50.
That's.
Oh yeah, he's old. His net worth. Here we go. Doug Hutchinson. He's not even worth that much money. $3 million. That's not a lot.
Come on.
Well, I mean, she was very young whenever she got married to him.
I guess the only real movie he's done is 8 Mile. Or not 8 Mile, Green Mile. That's a completely different situation.
Very different miles there, Bob.
How about the...
I bet he has more money.
The Vanity Fair picture. Have you guys seen this yet?
Oh, yeah. I saw that, Joe.
What's the deal with this?
Okay, so this was supposedly done by a very famous photographer, and he screwed it up really bad.
In the people.
If you look right here, Reese Witherspoon has 3 legs. 1, 2, 3. So they took a bunch of pictures and they put it in together.
Looks like just like the shadow of her dress to me.
Nah, here's a close up. Hang on.
She is an alien.
Look at that. That's her thigh going straight down, and that's her leg right there. And this is her 2 other legs.
I think that's a shadow of her back of her dress.
No, it's confirmed. He screwed it up. She even put that out there. Okay, you know what? You guys wanna test me? Here we go.
I never would have noticed.
What about right here when Oprah Winfrey has 3 hands? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
She still looks like the Cowardly Lion.
1, 2, 3. She does look like the Cowardly Lion.
She is the Cowardly Lion from The Wiz.
Oh my god.
If I was king of the forest!
Yeah,
that's
that
it.
hand on the left also sort of still looks like a red sashy thing.
No, it's her hand. That's her knuckle right there. Knuckles, fingers, digits.
All right, is there more?
No,
more
that's
mistakes?
it. Oh, that's what hit the news today. Is that they screwed up when they were putting all these shots together using Photoshop.
Yeah, that was probably a lot of shots that they were putting together, though.
This one's not so funny right here. You guys heard about this? How do you say his name? Nasser? Larry Nasser? This is the guy that got arrested for touching all the Olympic people. This is what blew. I wasn't following the story. I saw it the other night. We went to, what is that barbecue place I went to? Mission Barbecue. So good. I didn't eat any bread though. 100,
good job, you guys.
150 women.
I almost drooled in the cereal aisle at the grocery store. I was like, cereal? I want some cereal.
She was trying to have sex with Fruit Loops. It was ridiculous.
Toucan saying.
I haven't had bread in a long time because gluten-free is you get used to it.
I can't highlight it. 150 women! That's crazy. At some point, you have to be like, I'm going to get caught. Now, here's the thing. Have women and can women lie about this sort of thing? Sure. But if there's 150 of them, somebody's not lying.
I'm sure that's confirmed.
I don't understand is when it's a molestation type thing, and the mom never believes the kids, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know why your kid would lie about that. Even if they did, though, something's wrong.
Yeah,
because a kid should not come to you and say such a thing.
100.
If any of my kids ever, God forbid, ever came to me and said something like that, you best believe I'd be digging into some things.
I will.
Game time.
And I'm sure you felt like this.
What's that word again? Bury. That's what we would do to the person.
Because the moment I became a mother was the moment I realized I am capable of murder. Because I will kill somebody.
So
my bare hands.
Yes.
This guy got sentenced to 175 years in prison. So he's going to die old, shriveled, and with a large butthole. Now, here is my absolutely favorite Bible Clock news story of the week. A Taco Bell burnt down, and this town came together and held a vigil.
Look how serious her face is.
They had...
I'm so sad.
Are there any pictures in this article? There's not, but I watched the video, and people came out and had candles.
Can you play the video?
And were crying. Yeah, I can play the video.
It is not often or ever that we report
his face. That was fantastic.
That is exactly what's happening tonight in Montgomery at the site of a torched Taco Bell. We told you about that location burning down last week, and tonight some locals are grieving the loss of their favorite food outlet, and that is where we find WSOP 12 News reporter Samantha Day. And Sam, this is a milestone in your young career. You're the first reporter to ever do a live shot at a candlelight vigil for a fast food place.
John, let's talk about what's going on. This
what a cheap joke.
Oh my gosh.
Early Wednesday morning, shortly after, a Facebook page was created. That Facebook page inviting people to a candle-lit vigil for Taco Bell. I cannot make this stuff up. Joining me now is Katie James. She is the creator of that Facebook page. And Katie, we were speaking a little bit earlier, and you said that this all started off as a joke.
It was a complete joke. It was. I came home, my roommate told me the Taco Bell had burned down, and he said it would be funny if we made a memorial page, and I was like, okay, or if we did something, and he moved on about his life, and I decided to make the event, and I still told him, this is just a joke, it's not that big of a deal. When we invited people, we invited Alec, the man who...
Okay.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
So what happened in the time of, hey, we should do a prank page to he moved on with his life? Like, what happened in that small amount of time?
That term. I wonder if they like broke up, like if they were boyfriend girlfriend and they broke up because she said that was her roommate.
Okay, here we go.
But nobody says he moved on. Yeah, he moved on with his life.
Mm-hmm. I got real involved with this Taco Bell thing, and he left.
Is standing in front of Taco Bell like no, and as soon as he shared it, I feel like it just took off.
Did you expect it to take off like this?
No, I had no idea it would take off. But I was on top of the notifications, so as soon as somebody would share it, I would comment below and say, "Bring your own candle," and I guess
bring your own candle.
So tell me, what exactly is going on tonight?
I have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is we weren't allowed over there because it's a fire and crime scene. They said move it to the ABC store parking lot. I said, okay.
They're at the ABC store.
Come out,
now it's
light their
picking up.
candles. A couple people
Like
are dressing their children.
everybody gather up at the ABC store.
Sauce packet, and that's all I know that's going to happen. Oh, we are having a live performance, though, at 7:30.
All right.
So.
All right, great.
Okay, there's a lot of people with candles. Can we move them over to the alcohol, please?
Wow.
So I saw pictures, and there were legitimately like hundreds of people with candles outside of the Taco Bell.
That many people, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is it crazy? Because let me tell you what. I'd kill for a taco right now.
I love me some Taco Bell.
I'm actually really pretty hungry right now.
I love me some Taco Bell. Taco Bell was our neighbor for like 5 years.
I lost a ton of weight before the twins were here, and I did it by walking and running the circle. And I had to walk past a Taco Bell every lap. You know how miserable that is?
Yeah, our apartment complex is right next to Taco Bell. And like, I would be sad if Taco Bell burnt down.
I don't know.
But I don't think I would be that sad. I wouldn't be sad enough to attend a candlelight vigil.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Represent.
Thank you for having us.
Do you guys want to close it up? You know the saying.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
You know it.
You can do it. Go ahead.
Find your laugh.
Find your happy.
This has been a Cabcast Studios production. For more episodes and information, visit thebobandkatieshow.com.